Her laughter still rings in my ears. That high-pitched, mocking giggle, sharp enough to slice through my chest. Hubby's mad I went to my ex's wedding, she teased, eyes gleaming with a cruel delight, as if my humiliation were a party trick. I had been standing there, flowers in hand, ready to take her to dinner for our anniversary. Instead, I found her in the kitchen, dress wrinkled, makeup smudged, smelling faintly of champagne that wasn't ours. That night, something inside me cracked, not just my trust, but the man I thought I was. And in the cold silence that followed, revenge didn't feel like a choice. It felt like destiny. I didn't confront her, not right away. People think rage makes you loud, but real rage makes you silent. I studied her instead, every movement, every word, every fake smile she threw my way like breadcrumbs to keep me from noticing the whole loaf was gone. For weeks, I kept my voice calm, my face neutral, while inside I planned. She thought she had the upper hand. She thought I'd sulk, forgive, and go back to pretending we were perfect. But I had no intention of being her doormat. I started gathering evidence, not for divorce court, but for destruction. Every message she sent to her ex, every selfie she snapped in the bathroom mirror, every careless little lie. I knew where she kept her passwords. I knew her weaknesses. She was vain, greedy, and careless. A dangerous combination. At work, I smiled for my colleagues. At home, I played the loving husband. But in my mind, I was sharpening my knife. Not a real one, but the kind that cuts far deeper. Humiliation. Revenge is not a quick meal. It's a slow-cooked dish, and I let it simmer. I waited for her to feel completely safe again. I made her believe I was over it. I bought her flowers, took her on dates, even booked a weekend getaway. Every kindness I showed her was just another chain I was wrapping around her neck, slowly, invisibly. And then, the cracks began to widen. I accidentally left my phone unlocked on the couch with screenshots of her messages open. I dropped hints at family dinners. I started conversations with her friends that began with, "I'm worried about her," and ended with carefully planted seeds of doubt. She began to notice people looking at her differently. Her best friend stopped calling. Her co-workers' smiles seemed strained. She asked me if I'd been saying things. I looked her dead in the eye and said, "No, love. Why would I?" The beauty of slow revenge is that it doesn't just hurt your target, it isolates them. She was crumbling, and I was just getting started. The night I vanished, she never saw it coming. I had transferred every asset I could into accounts she couldn't touch. I'd sold our house secretly, using her forged consent that I had perfectly faked. Her car? Gone, sold a week earlier. The joint account? Drained, leaving her with exactly $42. I left her one thing. A single printed photo of us from our wedding day, her smile beaming, mine hiding all the things I didn't yet know. Across it, in black marker, I wrote, "You laughed." I didn't. Then I left. No note, no number, no forwarding address. By the time she realized I was gone, I was already in another city under a different name, watching her life unravel from a safe, delicious distance. But here's the thing, months later, as I sat alone in my new apartment, watching her scandal play out online, I expected to feel triumphant. I didn't. I felt empty. I had destroyed her, yes. But in doing so, I had erased the man I used to be. The part of me that could trust, that could love, that could sleep without replaying that giggle in my head. He was gone too. Life after revenge is not victory, it's silence. And silence has a way of screaming. In the weeks following my disappearance, I thought I'd finally feel light again. No more pretending to love her. No more plastered smiles. No more sharing a bed with the smell of betrayal. I had taken everything from her. Her comfort, her security, her precious image. I had erased her from the life we built and left her choking on the ashes. But the truth was, I had also erased myself. Every morning in my new apartment, I woke up to the same 4 blank walls. No wedding photos. No familiar smells. No sound of a coffee maker brewing in the kitchen. I was free, but I was also no one. I spent hours scrolling through the chaos I'd caused. Friends whispering about her. Old acquaintances posting vague Facebook statuses dripping with judgment. She was being painted as the cheating wife who got exactly what she deserved. And yet, after the first wave of satisfaction, I started feeling something I never expected: numbness. It's strange. When your entire identity becomes getting even, there's nothing left once you succeed. I wasn't her husband anymore. I wasn't even me. I was just a man who had burned down a house and now sat alone, staring at the smoke. Worse, I began to notice the small ways revenge had infected me. I didn't trust anyone. Not the woman who smiled at me in the grocery store. Not the friendly neighbor who tried to introduce himself. I kept my phone locked with complicated passwords, even though there was nothing in it worth hiding. I checked my bank accounts obsessively, convinced someone was plotting to take from me what I'd taken from her. One night, I woke up at 3 a.m., convinced I'd heard her laugh in my apartment. That cruel, mocking giggle. My chest tightened as I searched every room, knife in hand. No one was there, but the sound stayed in my head long after I'd gone back to bed. I had destroyed her, but she still lived rent-free in my mind. 6 months later, I saw her again. It wasn't planned. I was in another city for work, sitting in a corner booth at a quiet cafe. The door opened, and in she walked. Same hair, same walk, but thinner, with tired eyes that had lost their shine. She wore a cheap coat that didn't fit her, and when she ordered, I saw her swipe a prepaid debit card. She didn't see me. I could have left. I should have left. But instead, I waited until she sat alone at a small table by the window. I walked over, coffee in hand, and when she looked up, the shock in her eyes was almost enough to warm me. Almost. "Hello, darling," I said softly, letting the words hang like smoke between us. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. For a moment, I saw the woman who used to smile at me like I was her whole world. But then I remembered that giggle, that wedding she'd gone to, that smirk when she thought she'd gotten away with it. "You look different," I continued, sipping my coffee. Her voice trembled. "You ruined my life." I smiled. Not cruelly, not kindly, just flat. "No, you ruined mine first. I just evened the score." She flinched, and for the first time, I noticed her hands trembling as they gripped the coffee cup. She wasn't the invincible woman I had known. She wasn't even the villain I had painted her to be. She was just broken, and that's when the strangest thing happened. I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel angry. I felt tired. Like the weight I'd been carrying all these months suddenly slipped, and all that was left was exhaustion. "You got what you wanted," she whispered. "Isn't that enough?" I studied her for a long moment, and the truth hit me hard. It was enough. Months ago. But I'd been holding on to the fire because without it, I had nothing left to define me. I leaned closer and said, "You know what the worst part of revenge is? When it's over, you realize you've been living for the wrong thing." Her eyes narrowed. "So what now?" "Forgiveness." I shook my head. "No. Forgiveness is for people who want peace. I just want distance." I left her sitting there, coffee growing cold in her hands, her eyes wide as she watched me walk away. I didn't turn back. I didn't need to. That was the last time I ever saw her. And for the first time since that night in the kitchen, I wasn't thinking about her laugh. I was thinking about the silence, and how maybe, just maybe, it was time to let it be. It's been 3 years since I vanished from her life. The city I live in now doesn't know my name, not the one she knew. I've built a new identity, a quiet one. No social media, no close friends, no attachments. It's not that I'm hiding from her anymore. It's that I'm hiding from the man I became to destroy her. Revenge changes you. Not just for the months you plotted, but for years after. You start to see the world differently. Every smile could be a mask. Every hand offered could be a setup. Trust isn't just broken, it's deleted from your system. I'd thought leaving her penniless, disgraced, and abandoned would heal me. But some nights, I still wake to that damn laugh. And other nights, it's not the laugh I hear. It's my own voice, cold and deliberate, plotting her downfall. That voice is harder to silence. Last week, I heard from a mutual acquaintance. She's working a low-paying job in a small town, renting a one-bedroom apartment. She doesn't date anymore, doesn't go out much. People there know bits of her past, enough to keep their distance. I should have felt satisfaction. Instead, it felt like hearing about a building I'd burned down. Yes, the fire's out, but the blackened skeleton still stands as a reminder of what I did. One rainy night, walking home from work, I passed a pawn shop window. Inside, a wedding dress hung awkwardly on a mannequin, yellowed, faded, unwanted. It stopped me cold. The sight pulled me back to the day I married her, the way she looked walking down the aisle, the way I once believed her smile was the safest place on earth. And I realized something brutal. I didn't just take revenge on her. I took revenge on the version of myself that believed in love, in trust, in forever. That man died the moment I decided to become her executioner. People romanticize revenge like it's a final victory. But it's not a finish line, it's a door. And once you walk through it, you can't go back. You can't unsee the darkness in yourself. You can't undo the way it reshapes you. I destroyed her. And in the process, I built a prison for myself. The cost of revenge isn't just what you do to them. It's the piece of yourself you have to kill to make it happen. And no matter how far you run, that ghost follows. Always. Moral of the story. When you set out for revenge, you don't just dig their grave, you dig your own.